Hello, lovely managers, lovely team leaders of Isaac in Germany, maybe even some VPTMs are here. Welcome to the National Education Cycle, the session about data management on Podio. I will be talking about 3 essential points in this session, how you can work with Podio, how you can work with the apps there, and maybe how you can routinize it to make your job easier. But before that, I will introduce myself real quick. I am Irmak. I am a part of the TMST, Talent Management National Support Team. I'm working as a consultant there. And I was, as you are, or maybe as you aspire to be, I was a VPTM as well before my term. So yeah, I worked quite a bit with Podio as well. So I quite understand your struggle, and I will try to help you here. So let's get started. Like I said, we will have 3 topics. First of them is recruitment and onboarding. Of course, recruitment and onboarding is the period of time that we use the Podio the most, probably. So I will be talking about the recruiter apps and the My Employees apps. Then, second of all, we have the performance management and team standards. As you know, we also use a lot of Podio on these topics. So I will be explaining goal setting app and the team standards app. And yeah, lastly, I will kind of try to give you an idea how you can routinize all of these, how you can maybe plan your month, plan your week accordingly, and yeah, so that you can use Podio maybe on a daily basis. So I want to start with a wise sentence from Paul, our old MCV as we started using Podio more and more often in the last term. He had this amazing catchphrase. He would say Podio or it didn't happen, which I think applies to everything that TM does. We have to put all of our data on Podio, or else basically on the national side, for example, we don't have a resource to get some data about your job, about what's happening in your LC on the TM side and so on. So basically, yes, it's Podio or it didn't happen. Okay, let's jump right in. We are at the recruitment and onboarding part, and as you see, you of course probably recognize this site. Here is the recruiter app. It is the main page first, and then the cards that you have for each sign up, and then My Employees app. So I will go into small details about the recruiter app. First of all, the first page is where you see the signups. You probably already worked with it before, maybe with your VPTM, or yeah, maybe saw your VPTM working with it, because this is the main page that we get all of the signups together, and we can see all of them here. We can see every information here. So this is the page that is used most frequently, I would say. Then in order to use this page, in order to use this interface, you have a couple icons on top, which yeah, for example, if you don't put it in Tabelle, mostly either it's really hard to see all of the information at once, or you don't see anything at all. So whenever you open this page, usually first thing we do is clicking on this icon and clicking on Tabelle or Tabella. I don't know how it's written in your version, but yeah. Then second icon is this one, this tools, where you can basically arrange or set what you want to see on the table. Basically, which informations you want to see at once on the table. If you don't want to see some of them, you can just cancel them out, or if you want to see more, you can just scroll down a little. Scroll down a little and see more information. Then we have the filters. You can basically filter on every point that you have in the cart. You can filter according to the date that was established, or the land, Bundesland, and everything. So yeah, that's also something we use really frequently to see basically some groups of signups, or maybe we want to kind of gather all of them under one title and so on. So you can use it then. Then we have the cards. Basically, there you can see, for example, all of the information, like I said before. But this card is especially important because of the status part, which I'm coming there as well. Yes, here, as you can see, yeah, there are a lot of information. Where did they hear from us in the first place? Some Datenschutz information and everything. But the most important part, I would say, is definitely non-negotiably, undeniably, the status part. You probably heard from your VPTM, or maybe from the national side a lot, that you need to update it immediately when there's a change. For example, when you get a sign up, it's open, but when you contact it, you have to update it to contact it, so that we know everyone's contacted, that we are comfortable with what you're doing, that you're doing it really quick. Then, yes. So we have my employees part. My employees part is also kind of connected to the status part on the card, I would say, because when you selected there, I can show you again. Here, when you put it on selected, only then that person appears on the My Employees app. And you need this app to track the onboarding, or yeah, basically, or maybe you can update it, like update the information about onboarding, how's it going. But usually we prefer when the VPs or the team leaders kind of work with this app. And I will show you more details about it now. Yes, it looks like this when you have a My Employees card. It is basically kind of the same. The first couple of titles are the same with the Recruiter app, but then you have the onboarding part here, where your VPs or your team leaders should be following up with, should be updating it constantly, so that you know what's going on, so that we know what's going on. And yeah, basically, so that we can have some idea, or we can basically establish a great member experience through onboarding for your members. And yeah, I wanted to show it in a bit bigger size for you. Here you can see it, every step is here. Basically, only thing they need to do is just clicking on them, checking them after they happen. Now, we are at the performance management and team standards part. Yeah, so this is how it looks like when you click on the app. Basically, you have cards for each goal, set for each member, and yeah, I will now show how the cards look like. So this is the updated version of the goal setting cards. Basically, you choose the teams, you choose the job description, the month you're in, and yeah, then you have the certain MOSs, certain KPIs, and everything here. After you choose the MOS, you can type here whatever KPI you're setting your goal in. And yeah, one thing that is really important about the performance management is that you always need to as well update it. We say bi-weekly, which is the, I think, optimal amount that you follow up with your goals of your members, and or other team leaders with their members, because we want to be aware of the situation of the goal achievement in the Teams, in the LC, and so on. And yeah, when you update it, you have to put the date here, last updated, and yeah, then it will show the goal achievement here. One amazing thing about this update is that you can actually use this as a tool for your PDTs, because there are as well some questions where you already supposed to ask during the PDTs. So for example, okay, PDPs are more detailed, but PDTs are kind of a check, how is it going? So that's why these are, I would say, enough information that you can ask to your members. Yeah, that's basically as well it. Then we have the Team Standards app. It also looks like not really different than the goal setting app. You have again cards, and cards look like this. Again, here you choose the team, which phase are you in, building, performing, or closing, which month, which team, and everything. And then, yeah, you choose, for example, from the building team standards, what is happening, what is not, what didn't happen yet, and so on. And then from the performing team standards, you can as well choose. There are separated like check-ins for the first, second, third, and fourth, which is also useful because you can basically check it after each one. And yeah, we also have, of course, closing team standards here. And yeah, this should make your VPs or team leaders' job way easier, and it should make it way easier for you to track them. Yeah, so that was basically all about the routines. Sorry, all about the apps. Now we have the routines. I mean, the routine I want to suggest for you, maybe you can use it. I mean, it doesn't really look that creative or that thought through, because basically there's nothing to it. It's all about constant tracking on team standards, constant goal tracking, and goals update tracking, and so on. So as you see, I put here any month, any year, because tracking doesn't really have a timeline. It should be happening parallel to everything that you're doing. For example, yeah, constant team standards tracking, it should be happening all through the month. But as well, goals tracking, for example, goal achievement tracking should actually also be here. You can definitely do it also on a daily basis, or maybe weekly basis at least. And at the end of each month, the goals should be updated for the next month, for the upcoming month, and you should track it really closely if the goals are right, if the goals are set before the deadline, so that you have the performing phase in the upcoming month and you don't have to deal with I don't know, tracking your VPs or the team leaders if they set the goals or not. And for the recruitment and the onboarding parts, it's basically, I mean, recruitment phase is, like I wrote here, is a really regular and extraordinary phase for TM, which requires kind of timeline adaptation and constant Podio work. But how I would routinize it, I put it also here. I thought it would be routinized through habits, because it should be a habit after you get every sign up, updating the status after you contact them, updating the status on Podio to contacted when you try to arrange, I don't know, trying to arrange interviews with them, yeah, to be interviewed, or interviewed after you interview them, and selected, really importantly, so that they take place in the My Employees app after selecting them. So, and yeah, before we finish, I want to say working with Podio is definitely a lifesaver, but only when you do it on a daily basis, because it has every data that you will need during your TM life, and I find it really, really important. So if you have any doubts, any questions about how to use some apps, about some I don't know, maybe routines even, you can always contact me on this number and I'd be glad to answer any question you have. Enjoy!